What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kyle. Look, we talk a lot about why you may not want to move to Red Deer, Alberta. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the reasons why you should consider moving to Red Deer. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about one of the nicest thing, in my opinion, about living in Red Deer, Alberta, and that's the pace of this city. I love how laid back it is here. I love how slow it is here. When I first moved here, I moved from a small town called Whitecourt. It has about 10,000 people just north of Edmonton. I moved down to Red Deer and I thought that this city was massive. 100,000 people. It was the biggest place that I've ever lived in. But living here, after a while, you quickly realize that it just feels like a big town. It feels like my small hometown ate a bunch of steroids and you got Red Deer out of the deal. So if you're someone who wants to live in a bigger center in Alberta, you are going to love living in Red Deer. There is no traffic issues here. I would love to shake the hand of the person who designed this city. Traffic flows here extremely well. You're never caught in rush hour. There's no issues with parking. And I always tell people that's why it's not really a huge concern if you do drive on which neighborhood you're, how far away you are from downtown or the south end. You know, all the best shopping is on the south end, or Costco, which is on Gasoline Alley. If you do drive a car, you own a car, doesn't really matter where you live because you're never really farther than 20 minutes away from anything at the most.
That was a quick trip.
Yes.
Now, if you're trying to get around in this city, if you can find Gates Avenue, Taylor Drive, 67th Street, and 32nd Street, you are well on your way to learning to navigate Red Deer. However, I will say that the streets and avenues are backwards here, so it's not what you're used to. The avenues run north to south and the streets run east to west, so that can confuse people. I know when I first moved here, that screwed me up for a little while. And this city, being the third or fourth largest city in Alberta, still has all of the amenities that you're going to need. It has all the franchise restaurants, if that's something that you're into. I mean, we are missing things like IKEA and some of the unique shopping stores that come living within the bigger center. But the good thing about Red Deer is you're not far away from Edmonton or Calgary. So if you do need to venture out, which you won't have to very often, it's not that far of a trip. Now, the people here are also very laid back and friendly. People comment to me all the time when they made the move here, especially coming from Ontario, British Columbia. They are shocked by how friendly people are and how willing they are to strike up a conversation. They tell me that wherever they come from, a lot of the times people are just super busy. They're just trying to get from one point to the other. Their heads are down. People aren't super friendly.
Mind your own business.
Okay. I was just trying to be nice.
Be ready here in Red Deer to strike up a lot of conversations and to make a lot of new friends and meet a lot of new people, because the people here, again, super engaging. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. And just a reminder, I am a licensed realtor in the area. So if you are thinking of making the move here and you do need some help, you can use this info popping up on the screen right now. Get a hold of me any way you'd like. We'd love to hear from you. All right, let's talk about reason number 2 as to why you should consider moving to Red Deer. And this is a big reason for a lot of people. And now it may seem obvious, you're looking at a map, but that's Red Deer's central location. So you are just about dead center between Edmonton and Calgary. 155 kilometers to Edmonton, 145 kilometers to Calgary. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the bigger cities. I hate the traffic and the busyness and everything that comes with them.
Always traffic. Always traffic.
This stupid traffic.
However, I also don't want to be too far away from them. And that is what a lot of people are thinking, and that's the reason why they choose to live in Red Deer. If you need to catch a flight from either Edmonton or Calgary's International Airport, they're only an hour on either side of Red Deer. So super convenient. And if you're gonna go catch a Flames game, although I don't know why anyone would want to catch a Flames game when you can travel the same distance and go watch the Oilers play, which are a 10 times better team. I know they're struggling a little bit this year, but they are gonna turn it around. Trust me, Draisaitl, McDavid, they are about to pick it up. You can come back to this video when it happens. But if you want to catch a hockey game, you want to go to a concert, that's where most of the big concerts are. And it's really great if you just want to plan a day trip up to somewhere like West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton, or do you want to go down to the zoo in Calgary? The girls and I and the family, we plan trips like this all of the time. A lot of the times as well, people have family in Edmonton or they have family in Calgary, so they want to be right in the middle, or their kids are going to university in one of the cities and they haven't, maybe they haven't made that choice yet, but they're still trying to decide. So mom and dad decide that, hey, we're going to live in Red Deer so that you're not too far away from us. Now, some other things to note about Red Deer's location, and I know a lot of the people from Ontario, they like this about the area. Alberta's not really well known for its lakes, and you guys have some beautiful lakes out there. I heard they're amazing. I've never been there myself. And now I'm not saying this compares to what you guys have out there, but one of the best lakes in Alberta is called Sylvan Lake, and Red Deer is only 15 minutes to the east of it. So a super short trip to one of the most popular lakes within the province. Sylvan Lake is a great lake. It's great for, all of the water sports, and, it's pretty good for fishing as well. Not as good as some of the other lakes, but if you're looking for laying on the beach, that beach town vibe, Sylvan Lake is the place that you want to be. And of course, when people are moving to Alberta, they're really thinking about the mountains. They don't want to be too far away. So, Calgary is super close. A lot of people love Calgary for that reason. If you're living in Edmonton, you're about 4 hours away from the mountains, which is a bit of a drive still. If you're living in Red Deer, you're only just over 2 hours away from the mountains. So if you're looking to do a getaway, if you want to go hiking, you want to go skiing, it's still a super easy day trip to head down to the mountains and do whatever it is that you're thinking of doing.
Sooner, this place is perfect.
So if being central is a huge priority to you, that is something that's on your list of deal breakers, you might want to consider moving to Red Deer, Alberta. In my opinion, Red Deer's location, it just doesn't get more central than this one. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about the affordability and the economy. Now, there is a ton of people moving to Alberta. I'm sure everyone is aware of this by now. From July 1st of last year to July 1st of 2023, there was 180,000 people that have made the move here. Now, some markets like the Calgary area, they are super hot and they are super competitive with tons of bidding wars and homes going way over asking price. Calgary is a super popular area to live in. It's a beautiful city. I mean, you're about an hour away from the mountains. You're nestled in the foothills. It's a clean city. It's just very beautiful. I see why people are attracted to it. But Red Deer is still a very affordable market in Alberta. So not only is it going to be a little bit less stressful of a process to get into a home here if you're a buyer, but the median detached price for a home so far this year is $380,000. You can get a really nice home for that price here.
Let's live there.
Now that is about a 3% increase from this time last year. So you're seeing some moderate appreciation on your house. Nothing crazy, but it's definitely nice to have. And like I mentioned before, buying a home in the central Alberta area and in Red Deer, it's going to be a lot less stressful for a buyer. Now, it's still a competitive market. Yes, it is a seller's market. There can be times where you are going into multiple offer situations, but there are often many times too where it's just you writing an offer on the home and you can get that home for potentially under asking price. Out here also, we're still getting inspections. Super important to get inspections, guys. Do not waive this kind of thing. When you are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for the biggest buy in your lifetime, potentially the biggest buy in your lifetime, please do not skimp out on $500 when it comes to a property inspection. This can save you a lot of headache, and maybe it's going to reveal one of your deal breakers. As an example, we were showing a home maybe a month ago. My clients ended up not waiving the property inspection, but their one deal breaker was no mold, and I'm sure that'd be a deal breaker for a lot of people. However, on a viewing, just a standard viewing, this stuff isn't going, unless it's super, super obvious, you're not going to discover this stuff. What did the inspection find? It found a bunch of black mold down in a crawl space. So again, this was a deal breaker for my clients. We wrote a non-waiver and we moved on to the next property. So do not skimp on property inspections. The market isn't that crazy out here that we're waiving all that kind of stuff. Super, super important.
Ugh, smells damp.
Should we find another place to stay?
All right, let's talk about the economy. And Red Deer is definitely a blue collar city. Now, don't take my words literally. That doesn't mean that there are not any tech jobs or IT jobs. Of course there are. It's just going to be a little bit more competitive here, but Red Deer is definitely more of a blue collar city. So if you're moving out here and you're looking for a job in oil and gas, or you have a background in the trades or construction industry, you're going to have no problem finding any work here. Healthcare is also a massive industry here in the the Red Deer area, all over Alberta really, but Red Deer itself is the central hub in central Alberta, the Red Deer Regional Hospital. It services the whole entire surrounding area, so 100,000 people in Red Deer plus about another 400,000 in the area, so 500,000 people. Makes it a super busy hospital, so healthcare is in big demand here. There's a huge expansion set to take place in the Red Deer Hospital, $2 billion. It's not supposed to be complete by 2030 or 2031, but that's going to create a ton of jobs in the construction industry, obviously, to build it, as well as going to create more jobs in healthcare. Now we're in phase 2 right now of a huge expansion of the Red Deer Airport, a $30 million expansion. This is going to create more passenger flights, more cargo flights. This is also going to be a huge economic driver into the central Alberta area. So not only is it creating a ton of jobs in the area, but it's going to attract a lot of people to the area. Anytime those transportation lines improve, investors are starting to look in the area. And in my opinion, this is going to be massive for the central Alberta area. So to recap this last segment, homes are still very affordable. The median detached price for a detached home is $380,000. And the economy is very busy depending on what fields you are looking in. Again, Red Deer is more of a blue collar city, but these are a couple more reasons why you might want to consider moving here. All right, let's take a look at one of the things that people are most surprised about when they make the move to Red Deer. And that's just how beautiful this city is, how green it is. They're surprised about all the nature and the trail systems here. Now, if you're making the move from Ontario, where they have all the beautiful lakes and the deciduous trees, or you're coming from British Columbia with all the oceans and beautiful geography that you have out there, and you're moving to a prairie city, you're looking on a map and you're looking at Red Deer and it's kind of right in the middle. You're thinking to yourself, oh man, I don't know. I've had some clients who made the drive out from Ontario, and as they're coming through Saskatchewan and the eastern side of Alberta, they're like, man, what is going on here? It's just, there's no trees. It's all prairies. I don't know if I like this. But as they start to get closer to the middle, to Red Deer and other areas, you start to see the parkland, the rolling hills, and then of course on the western border of the province, we get into the mountains. But Red Deer is absolutely beautiful and people are totally caught off guard by it.
This place is amazing.
Now, Red Deer has over 110 kilometers of trails and pathways, and it's kind of highlighted by our river valley. So once you get down to the river valley, it is just a beautiful area full of walking trails and kind of like just different parks all the way along the river. So you start in Heritage Ranch, where you can fish, you can go for dinner, you can ride horses, you can make your way down to Bower Ponds, where they have a concession. You can go skating there in the wintertime. You can take pedal boats out. You can go canoeing. There's just tons of stuff to do. That's a lot of the times where you're going to find a lot of Canada Day celebrations, and it just keeps going and going. And I highly recommend, if you do come here and you do have kids, that you check out the Discovery Canyon area. This is a phenomenal area for the kids and a great way to spend the day. It has a man-made river. You can rent tubes. You can float down into a little wading pond. There's a place to eat. It really is a phenomenal area. Red Deer is also a super dog-friendly city. So we have 2 dog parks here. The Oxbow's Off-Leash Dog Park on the south end, but one of the nicest places that you can go. It's one of the nicest dog parks in the country. Is 3 Mile Bend. If you do have dogs, I mean, you don't even have to have a dog to go there. Lots of people just go there to walk around and enjoy the trails and the view. It's nestled in along the river. It really is a beautiful dog park. And what's nice about Red Deer too is that a lot of the newer neighborhoods still have some really good walking trails. So if you're on the southeast corner of the city, around Vanier East and Laredo, there's lots of beautiful walking trails there. If the kids are riding their scooters or they're riding their bikes, or you want to go rollerblading, it is phenomenal for that kind of thing. I've heard clients comment on that many times over, on how even the newer neighborhoods, they still have some really good walking trails. You can even go from Vanier East all the way down to the river without hardly ever having to touch a sidewalk. So this is something that people are totally surprised by when they move to Red Deer. Again, a lot of the times Red Deer is just considered that city that you pass by when you're going from Edmonton to Calgary. But it is very green here. We have tons of parks. We have tons of walking trails. It really is a beautiful city. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely click that notification bell so you're notified every week when a new video comes out. And of course, if you would like any help with the real estate needs, use this info on the screen right now. I just hit my mic. Get a hold of me any way you'd like. We'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.